Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie and I'm back with this quick little video about Act 6, Chapter 2. So, it is Class and Rarity Gates. Now, we knew that Kabam was going to be kind of doing this. They kind of hinted at it when they released Act 6, Chapter 1. Now, basically, I'm not going to read this whole post because it's a long post, but I'll just summarize it real quick. So the way Kabam is looking at it is it's going to be a new challenge to our content. So each quest is going to have 10 paths with 4 class or rarity gates and 6 paths that have no gates. So if you don't necessarily have the chance to go through the gated paths, you can go through the ungated paths. So I think, that's decent. All of the class gates will lead you down with a class advantage. So if you're going down, a science gated path, you're going to have a science champ. That means you're going to be fighting a lot of mystic champs. Do you necessarily have to use the science champs against those mystics? Probably not. You could, we all know Blade's the magic killer, and I'm sure there will be a magic somewhere in there. So, there is a little workaround. There's always some sort of workaround. We do have to remember that. So this is what it's going to look like when you, go in to choose your champs. You can check the requirements that are going to be needed. And I do want to say it's definitely important to scout out this path. So go ahead, maybe load a team up, see what you're going to do, who you're going to fight, and basically pick the champs that are best suited for that path, based on the class requirements. I think that will probably help you guys out a lot, but this is all just speculation too, because we don't exactly know what we're going to be facing as of yet. So, and I do want to make something apparent here. The gates you will find in Act 6 chapter are listed below. And so basically for Quest 1, you're going to have 2 or more 5-star mutant, cosmic, or tech champions, and also 2 or more 6-star champions. And that is the same for Quest 2, with the exception that the classes change to skill, science, and mystic. Quest 3, they up the ante a little bit to 3 or more. The same with Quest 4. And Quest 5 and 6, they up the ante even more to 4 or more, which pretty much fills up your entire roster. So that could be problematic, and I'll get into that in a little bit later. So these class rarity gates are in addition to the quest restrictions that only allow 5 and 6-star champions to enter into Act 6, which we already know about since Chapter 1 was released. So, and then Kabam goes on to say about, with the introduction, of the Cavalier progression point and recent events in the Battle Realm, 5 and 6-star champs are more accessible than ever and will continue to become more accessible. If you don't have the champions to tackle this content yet, don't worry. This is permanent content, which I think is great. It allows you to help build your roster. So basically the way I look at this is it's basically Kabam is accomplishing 2 things. The first thing they're doing is they're trying to make more difficult content without just creating, massive health champs like in Labyrinth of Legends. Think about it. They're getting creative with their buffs and champion encounters without having a champion with a health pool that is insanely high. No one wants to fight that. And the second thing they're doing is they want you to become more creative with your roster, and they want you to use more of your roster instead of using the same champs like Corvus, Domino, Starkey, Blade, the gist, over and over again to clear content. Now, I understand. I love using Corvus. I love using Hype. Who doesn't, right? But I think Kabam is trying to steer us away from using the same champ over and over again and trying to get more diverse with our champion rosters. In doing so, Kabam, this is what I think Kabam thinks, it makes the content less mundane for us. I think that's their whole thought process there. So, they're kind of doing this throughout the game also. So it's not really just here. In Map 7, in Alliance Quest, you need different champs for different encounters. I brought Spider-Gwen 1 week for Map 7, and I never thought in a million years I would need Spider-Gwen in Alliance Quest. But I did, and she worked out pretty well, so. And also, if you think about it, both variants, they both had restrictions. In the first variant, you were restricted based on class. You could only bring 2 specific classes into variant 1. In variant 2, there were tag restrictions, right? You could really only use extra large champs. But there were workarounds around that. I do think out of the 2 variants, though, variant 2 was much more successful than variant 1. So, and think about it too, with variant 2, people got to see how awesome Venom the Duck was. He was great for that quest. But, it wasn't so restrictive that you couldn't use other champs. I know I did the Domino and Captain America Infinity War cheese several times. And even the monthly event quests are starting to work like this too. And I'm sure with the new global node that's being introduced in Season 10 of Alliance War, we're gonna be seeing more of this. Kabam definitely wants you to open up your roster. And personally, I don't necessarily think that is a bad thing. However, Kabam could definitely get way too carried away with this, and there may be no stopping that ball from rolling down the hill once it gets going. They could, for the next round, they could come up with, you may have to have a specific champ of a specific star level for a specific fight, and if you don't, you're roadblocked, you're done, that's it. And I feel like that is where Kabam could fall short in this. Now, I feel like I've seen some players, they feel like they're under the assumption that you have to have all of the gate requirements at once. And that's not the case, because if you look, where is it? Right here. It says, at no time in Act 6, Chapter 2 will there be any paths that require you to pass through more than one of these gates. So the requirements will not stack. So, maybe you have, that for Quest 1, right? You've got awesome 2 or more 5-star mutants, but you've only got 1 really good tech, and that's about it, right? Just go down that mutant path, wait until you get the tech path to go. Remember, this is permanent content. It's not going anywhere. So this, like I said, this allows you to do the paths that you're equipped to do. I do, however, feel in regards to this that Quest 5 and Quest 6, they could be a little bit dicey because you need 4 or more of a specific class or 4 or more 6-star champions. And some of us, we just don't have the 6-star roster to do that. And that's fine. It's permanent content. But, that fills up your entire roster too if you think about it. So you have no wiggle room. So for that one path, you got to bring in, 4 5-star skill champions and then someone else. You have no wiggle room, really no room for error. So what do I think of this? Well, I'm actually going to reserve my judgment on this until it drops. I do see some positive aspects to this. However, there are several drawbacks as well. Remember, there were initial hesitations to Variant 2 before it was dropped when we were told about the tag requirements. And, but that for me, it was a lot of fun, and I feel like Variant 2 has been the best piece of content that I have done lately, so I was really excited about that. So, Kabam, I will pass Candyland Judgment once Act 6, Chapter 2 is released, and I'll tell you guys what, if it turns out to be a complete and total crapshoot, you can be sure I will let Jins guys know. But anyways, guys, that's all that I got. But what do you think? Do you think Act 6 is going to be a complete and utter mess? Do you think Act 6, Chapter 2, are we all going to struggle? Do you think we're all maybe overreacting? Is Kabam starting down a slippery slope with gate restrictions? Let me know in the comments below and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Bye, guys. Oh, and hit me up in the Discord chat. Bye, guys.